Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Reeves Subaru, Tampa, Florida, and we have a special review. We have this 2017 Acura NSX, and we're gonna do things a little bit differently. I'm not gonna do a fully in-depth review of this NSX. We are gonna point out why this car is a better option than a C8 Corvette, because that seems to be the mid-engine go-to that everybody's running to, is the new Stingray, the C8 Corvette, the first mid-engine Corvette. But with this 2017 NSX, big things were happening. Even though it's just the second generation of this iconic vehicle from Acura, technically Honda, because remember, Acura is that premium brand of Honda, it is so different from that first generation. Hybrid power, electric motors, all-wheel drive, and a twin-turbo V6. But guess what? We have a surprise that's gonna knock your socks off. But let's go ahead, let's dive into this 2017 Nouvelle Blue Pearl Metallic painted NSX and find out why it is supercar worthy and definitely the better choice than the C8. Right off the bat, the styling, because you don't see this vehicle very often and it's made in very low production numbers, you don't see NSXs that often. Give it another year, you'll see C8 Corvettes at every single McDonald's, gas station, and 7-Eleven. But I love the styling, really shows a futuristic 21st century look to it. And the great news is besides the gloss black, other than that, on the front end, there's not a lot of it. You do have the LED headlights, which I really love, and I think that the way that they shaped them looks really great. Massive intakes, and I think that on the NSX, it definitely is more aggressive in the corners with the nice large functional intakes. Now, when we come across the front, the one area that I zonk is this brushed aluminum trim. This should be carbon fiber, because look what we have down here, a nice dry weave carbon fiber front lip splitter on this beautiful blue. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we gonna talk about with the C8 that this has that the C8 doesn't? Check it out. Look at these wheels, gunmetal gray wheels. Now, I don't care which wheel you go with the Stingray, these wheels look so much better. And I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but definitely you're not gonna be able to argue much with these gunmetal gray wheels. Another thing that this has that you cannot get on a Stingray C8 Corvette, look at that, carbon ceramic rotors. Two-piece rotors, massive, bright red NSX branded calipers. Those 6-piston calipers are really gonna slow this down. And then underneath here, remember, we have those 2 electric motors, all-wheel drive. You don't get that on a C8 Corvette. Coming down the side, I love the beautiful body line. And then coming all the way back, you have a carbon fiber roof, full carbon fiber roof. This is gonna shave weight. And you know what? Who cares about not having a target top? That's not what this car is about. It's got the look, keep the roof in place. I love the way they did the door handles, much cleaner than on the C8 Corvette. Even the way they brought the carbon fiber on that side sill extension, it makes sense. As we work our way towards the back, I think this rear intake, if you compare this to the C8 Corvette, they did it much cleaner here. The way that everything is designed, you have this nice honeycomb wire grill area with those large intercoolers, and just the shape of it is just stunning. Out back, what are we looking at for tire size? 305s. So go look at your Stingray, see what you have width-wise, but you're getting a nice wide width, 9-speed DCT transmission, so you get an extra gear in there. Remember, the C8 Corvette has an 8-speed, but I love those 305s out back. And then the way we get to the rear, it's gonna be a mixed bag. I love the engine compartment on the C8 Corvette, but there's just something really unique, the way they did it with the dry weave carbon fiber all the way around. That NSX badge in there looks really great. We're gonna pop this up soon, so don't worry about that. But you're gonna have a nice functional kick up. There is an optional carbon fiber piece that I wish that this one had, but what I really do like over the C8 Corvette is the back of the car. So much cleaner, even with the honeycomb plastic grille area, so much cleaner than the C8 Corvette. And then feast your eyes on this rear diffuser. This makes the C8R a little bit jealous, the race version of the C8 Corvette. Massive rear diffuser, all carbon fiber, and look what we got on this one, a custom tune exhaust, because that was probably one of the zonks for many of you, is that the Acura NSX did not sound like a supercar. Wait until we fire this up, twin turbo V6 and that SH all-wheel drive. let's go ahead and though pop the rear hatch and see what we're working with power-wise. All right, guys, there she is, V6. Now, you may say, since we're comparing it to the C8 Corvette, well, Joe, that has 2 less cylinders, so the C8 naturally aspirated engine, Z51 equipped, pumps out 495 horsepower. Well, guess what? You're looking at that 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo when paired with the electric motors, 573 horsepower, 476 pound-feet of torque. Like I mentioned earlier, you get a 9-speed DCT transmission. The car weighs around 3,800 pounds, 0 to 60 in about 2.7, 2.8 seconds with a very easy to use launch control. So it matches the Stingray 0 to 60, 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds. Quarter mile zips by at 11 seconds flat. Top speed 191 miles an hour. And guess what? For all the people who really are mindful about MPGs, this car wins hands down over the C8 Corvette. 21 MPGs in the city, 22 on the highway. And like I said, that dry weave carbon fiber, I know you could get some carbon fiber on the engine compartment of the C8, but they outdid themselves on this Acura. It looks very, very complete. But why don't we go ahead, get your towel ready, get ready for an eargasm, because we're gonna fire up this NSX. All right, guys, we're inside this 2017 Acura NSX. Now, I know you're at that point, you're like, okay, Joe, you're comparing this to the C8 Corvette. I know the C8 Corvette, hands down, has some of the lowest prices. Well, here's the one thing. You can look, there's not many dealers out there, though, that are not charging extra on top of MSRP. This vehicle, when it was brand new, actually had an MSRP of $203,000. Reeves has it marked right around $139,000, and the car barely has 2,500 miles. But let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, I'm loving what they did, especially compared to the C8. You get the leather, the Alcantara, and that two-tone with the orchid color. They call that orchid. It's like a beige color. I personally would go with the red, but it is what it is with what we have now. The Alcantara is exquisite. You come to the dash, nice, almost like a brushed aluminum finish to this plastic. Looks really nice. The leather, the stitch work is great. Alcantara is wonderful. This is where it loses to the C8. Remember, this was the first year of the NSX, second gen. There has not been a redesign, so that's what we're working with infotainment system wise. I'm not even going to go over it because yes, the C8 Corvette wins hands down. You do get dual climate control. I like the dynamic mode knob. It's really easy to get to and has a nice tactile feel to it. You have heated seats, no ventilated seats. That's another zonk. But you do have your easy to get to 9-speed push button transmission. You got the paddles on the back of the steering wheel, the Alcantara, little tiny cubby for some breath mints when you go to pick up your hot date. Love the leather. And then back here is where you're going to be able to store some Twinkies, easily 2 or 3. Maybe if you stack them up, you could get about 8 if you stack up your Twinkies, but you have a USB back there. Seats are great, full leather. You can get optional Alcantara, but this full leather, very, very nicely done. Really has the perfect amount of bolstering. I think it's gonna be splitting hairs between what seats are more comfortable. I do know with the C8, you have 3 seat options, which really kind of spice things up. But why don't you come over to the business end? I wanna show you behind this leather and carbon fiber steering wheel on this NSX. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. The nice thing is you actually have lots of leg room, lots of foot room as well in the foot box. I do like the nice aluminum dead pedal, very large dead pedal, brake pedal and throttle, spaced out perfectly. And then the steering wheel, I actually love this steering wheel. It may not be as, new-esque as the C8, but I love the carbon fiber, the leather, the thickness is race car perfect. You do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel. They are plastic and they are smaller than the C8. And then the dash is a little bit more clunky, not 21st century-esque as the 2020 C8 Corvette, but you still got all your functionality there. You could go into your different modes very, very easily. If you hold it down, watch this. Few seconds, track mode. Love those settings. Love the carbon fiber. I just wish there were some LED Formula One style shift lights here. But why don't we get to the best part? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this NSX for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the NSX. We left Reeves Subaru. Second gear, comparing it to a C8 on throttle. Here we go. Yeah! So solid, so smooth. That custom exhaust sounds like a symphony. Unbelievable. Eargasms. I got my towel right here. I don't know, man. This thing is so it's just so rock stable, so rock solid stable that compared to a C8 seems to have a little bit more vibration and stuff, to be honest with you. This thing, you look at the speedometer, it's just churning. Like when you're at the fuel pump getting fuel. That 9-speed DCT shifts very, very quickly, super smooth, has launch control. And what I love about the launch control in this, you don't have to really fumble around. You just put yourself in track mode, hold down the brake, hold down throttle, release brake, and you're done. That's it. You don't have to do, you know, as Simon says, of all these buttons and whatnot. Seating position, I love. Seat feel, I love. Looking out across that very low nose, I think a vantage standpoint, I feel like I got greater visibility out the front end of the business in this NSX compared to a C8 Corvette. I like peeking in the rearview mirror and I can see that beautiful carbon fiber with that V6 twin turbocharged engine sunken in there, and the sound is just unbelievable. All right, guys, here we go. On throttle. On the brakes, yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. That all-wheel drive keeps you so planted, it's ridiculous. And that's something you're not going to get in the C8 Corvette. C8 Corvette has great grip, but not all-wheel drive grip. And those front wheels just help pull you out of the turns. Wow. So connected. God. All right, guys, once again, on throttle, here we go, yeah! Yeah! God! The way it puts the power down is just so much more aggressive than the C8 Corvette. And I know they're coming out with a Z06 and all that. Well, guess what? They don't have it yet. So I can't compare what they don't even make yet for the general public consumption. But boy, oh boy, this NSX is real. I could taste it. I could touch it. I definitely could hear it. And it is one hell of a performer. One hell of a performer. Plus, you're going to get Acura reliability, which we all know how great that is. They are having issues with those Tremec transmissions in the C8 Corvette. So just something to think about. Remember, first time for everything, including braking. Let's go ahead. On throttle. God! Jeez. And the brakes, those carbon ceramic brake rotors. You'll never have to go to another carnival or a fair or even to freaking Walt Disney World to ride a ride, because this is its own ride. Wow. All right, guys, we're gonna get on the highway and show how comfortable this NSX is, but before we do, on throttle. Look how the closing speed in this is unbelievable. Here we go. Unbelievable. Jeez. And the great thing is, very comfortable to ride. You know what? The C8 is comfortable as well, but this just has that little extra something where I feel like I'm in a supercar, which it is. More so than the C8. Let's go ahead and get on throttle one last time. I can't resist. On throttle. Wow. Oh my God. Well, we got to get back to Reeves, because if we don't go back to Reeves, I'm taking this car home. It's that simple. But we'll see in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day here at Reeves Subaru. Definitely got to thank LD and the rest of the crew getting us this Nouvelle Blue Pearl Metallic NSX. Yes, it does cost more money than even a base brand new C8 Corvette, but boy, oh boy, from a sound perspective and from a performance perspective, it really does exquisite, such a different sensation than the C8 Corvette. Plus, going down the road, this is gonna stand out more so than any C8 Corvette just because of the look, and you don't see a lot of them. Is it really better than the C8 Corvette? I'm gonna say heck yes, 100%, and I would love to have one of these parked in my garage. But if it's supercars like these, and yes, this is a supercar that you want to keep seeing on Ratings Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ratings Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Ratings Rise merch. Got to give it up to Crown Vic. He's fallen in love with these NSXs. He thought, hey, BMW was the only car manufacturer that could win his heart. This NSX is taking it 10 times that. So Victor, hug your NSX pillow tonight while you're sleeping. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.